Today on the channel from McFarlane Toys and the DC Superpowers line, we got the fan channel exclusive Peacemaker 3-pack.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another DC Superpowers unboxing and review. And today on the channel we got the DC Superpowers Peacemaker 3-pack with Judo Master, Vigilante, and Peacemaker. But for all your 3-pack needs, make sure you hit up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code KYLE. Save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. Anything over $79 does ship free. Got to get a deal out there. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And a very interesting one right here, as Peacemaker was, of course, was that HBO or Cinemax, HBO Max? What is time? What is TV channels? What is TV networks at this time? But I personally did enjoy the Peacemaker. And of course, good friend of the channel, John Cena.
Kyle Peterson, who is known in some circles as the Larry Bird of sports entertainment figurine collecting. Well, this is John Cena, a.k.a. John Cena, who is known in some circles as the John Stockton of fashion. The shorts get shorter all the time.
As we know, was the star of Peacemaker, and I gotta say, out of all of John Cena's acting roles, or at least the ones I've seen, Peacemaker was far and away my absolute favorite thing he has done as far as non-wrestling capacity. I really enjoyed the Peacemaker series, and it's crazy to think that was like 2 or 3 years ago, I think. And once again, what is time? Hopefully Peacemaker Season 2 comes out sooner rather than later. But an interesting 3-pack right here as far as the DC Superpowers line goes. Because when we think of the old school Kenner DC Superpowers, we think of the Wonder Womans, the Batmans, the Supermans, the Lex Luthors, the Darkseids, the tippy-top guys. Now, of course, this line's been going on a while. It's got pretty deep with some repaints and re-releases, things like that. But this one, a little bit of a left turn, as the Peacemaker group here, not really thought of when we think of the tippy-top DC guys, but man, 3 guys right here that stole our hearts, at least in the TV series they did at least. So an interesting dynamic putting these 3 together, and like I said earlier, a fan channel exclusive. That means your Entertainment Earth, GameStops, Big Bad Toy Stores, the McFarlane Toy Stores. Yes, Todd, I'll plug your store, the McFarlane Toy Store. You can get it at all those kind of places. And it seemed to be a fairly popular pack, but I'm sure a little bit more limited edition than wide retail releases. That's usually how those things go. But let's dive into this one here. This is the first 3-pack in this line too, which is pretty cool. That blue and yellow with those stars, oh my gosh, it's my childhood right there, especially that Superpowers logo. Absolutely do love that. Got their names across the top. Got the 3 right there going on. The old Judo Master, the old Vigilante, and Peacemaker. Quite the dream team. We'll talk about them here in a little bit. Of course, the back, we get a nice little file card. We're here for that. Jibber Jabbers, UPCs, Superpowers logo once again. Let's see what it says about each one of these guys here. We'll start with the Peacemaker here. When diplomacy isn't enough, Peacemaker loves peace so much he is willing to fight for it violently if necessary. Then we got the Judo Master, a bad guy in the series as we know, and just a little guy too. You can stick him in your pocket. Skilled in all forms of judo, jiu-jitsu, and other martial arts, Judo Master is an accomplished hand-to-hand combatant. He is also an above-average boxer and combines both disciplines to good effect. An above-average boxer. Oh, yeah, there he is, above average. Vigilante, a master of all forms of unarmed combat. Vigilante is also an expert in the use of firearms and knives. He has superb physical shape and combined with his superior skills in the martial arts is a formidable opponent in almost any situation. So there it is, the old blurbs on each one of these. And honestly, this would look really good just on card. It would be really cool to have this entire line on card, on display. But not in the cards for me at this point. But we're going to unbox them right here. We're going to get down to business. We're going to see what all the fuss is about. And there's always fuss with some Peacemaker. Just ask Leonard Skinner. Or was that Molly Hatchet? One or the other. One or the other. See you later once again. Plastic Prison looking good. Fall of the Peacemaker. Was that Molly Hatchet or was that Leonard Skinner? And I'm getting my Southern Rock confused right here. I'll look it up later. But there they are looking good. Of course, one big gripe here. We're going to get to it in a second. But let's go through these guys first. there it is. See you later. And I guess we'll start with the Vigilante here first. That's who I have in my hand. Of course, if you're familiar with this line, you know all about it. Not a lot of articulation. We'll walk through it with Vigilante real quick. Head, arms all the way around, no waist, no nothing. Leg goes up, bend at the knee, no boot cut, no ankles, nothing. That is it. Very minimalistic, old school articulation, but something kind of simple and kind of nostalgic about it at the same time, I will say that. But looking good here in the Vigilante costume. Got those red lensed goggles going on. You got the blue, the gray, and the other color of blue. Yellow belt with a little knife off to the side, and then some boots going on. One thing we will say, no weapons in this line. That's one thing that does suck about Warner Brothers and poor McFarlane over there. McFarlane says he doesn't like to talk about it. He doesn't want to upset any of the waters, but I will. This will be me, not you, Todd, talking. But they do not allow weapons, of course, firearms, with their characters. Just absolutely crazy for me, but Todd, very, very smart over there. He's wiggling his toes. There's no toe articulation on these, Todd. Put those toes away. But he, of course, does put out weapons packs, which works really well. Would love to see maybe a mini weapon pack for maybe some of these guys. That could be something, free tip. You can use it if you want. But it would definitely work for some of these characters. Not necessarily Vigilante, no gripping hands on this one, just 2 fists of fury. But Vigilante looking pretty good here. Now, does he fit on a ringside collectible Mattel stand? Well, what do you know? Fits on a Mattel stand right there. Probably a McFarlane stand too. Yes, I get it. Todd said the McFarlane stands, but they don't come with them, so you can't buy them separately. So it is what it is. But now we turn our attention to a master of judo and judo master right here. Yellow and red attack looking good. He's got those ninja slippers on in case he needs to sneak around somewhere. And then he looks a lot like good friend of the channel, Jeff George, with the samurai knot and blonde hair up here. Who knows? Maybe he's got an alter ego outside of guitar playing, outside of action figure collecting, outside of traveling the world. Maybe, just maybe, good friend Jeff is a judo master on the side. I'll have to ask him. But if he tells me, I probably can't tell you guys, but we'll see what happens there. But looking interesting, of course, articulation can be identical to Vigilante. Got a little bit of that Rising Sun kind of logo there, black belt. But besides that, pretty much state-of-the-art judo master action going on here. He does got a little arched on the arm, a little bend there. He's got an open slapping, chopping hand and a fist here, so he's not holding any weapons either. But he's going to take it to the streets, no doubt about it. Now, Judo Master, a bad guy in the show. I think he kind of goes back and forth in the comic books, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely a bad guy in the show. Always up to no good. Always up to no good. Now we finish with the old main event, the old Peacemaker himself, old John Cena. Got the gun gripping hand, just no gun to grip, unfortunately, and a fist of fury over here. Got the bird on the emblem, the red shirt going on, the blue belt, the blue arms, gloves and forearm guards. He's got the blue boots here against the gray. Looks like Peacemaker all day. If you're familiar with Peacemaker, you know who this is. And Peacemaker, a character I'd heard of, but really knew nothing about until the Suicide Squad, and then, of course, the TV series really brought Peacemaker to life, and it's really cool for John Cena. For a whole generation, and maybe every generation, when they think of Peacemaker, they're going to think of John Cena, which is pretty cool, I do think. Big old steel helmet going on. Of course, he does take that off in the series. It's off and on, back and forth. But it does look really good. Just really wish he had a weapon here, unfortunately. And once again, just like Judo Master and Vigilante, same articulation on this one. He also will fit on a ringside collectible stand, a stand he's no stranger to with all of his WWE figures over the years. But an eclectic bunch right here is Vigilante, Judo Master, and the Peacemaker. And this DC Superpowers line is a line I really enjoy. I just wish I could collect them all. I've been really picking them up for the most part on clearance. Hopefully another clearance round coming very soon, but that's what I've kind of been doing, just trying to get a deal. I'm here to get a deal, and this is a line I really want, but I don't want to pay full price for. So maybe I don't want it that much, but $3 or $4 a figure on clearance, I will buy it at something like that. But this set here being an online-only exclusive, not a lot of deals on it, so the 10% Entertainment Earth is pretty much the way to do things there. So that's how I had to pick these guys up here. But not a bad pack for what it is. Very cool on card. Cool enough out of the box here. Will look good in my Superpowers collection. But what say you? Did you pick this one up? Are you all in on this line? Do you dabble in this line? Let me know your thoughts on the old Peacemaker in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell, as we got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you on Patreon, including early access to both YouTube channel videos. Make sure you subscribe to both those channels, by the way. And then, of course, you can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for Judo Master, Vigilante, and the Peacemaker, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.